Beyond the Gates Spoilers Tuesday full, the 25th of August, 2026. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today is a beautiful Friday, and we are absolutely buzzing with all the latest drama from Fairmont Crest. Grab your favorite snack, settle in, and let's dive deep into the madness that just unfolded on our screens. I cannot believe they are actually going there again. I am sitting here typing this up at 2 in the morning because I just finished watching the latest episode and my brain is absolutely buzzing with a million different thoughts. You know that feeling when a show does something so wild, so frustrating, and yet so incredibly gripping that you just have to vent to people who actually understand? That is exactly where I am at right now, because they are really doing it. They are actually bringing back the absolute nightmare that is Allison Bailey, and I am both screaming at my television and completely glued to the screen. I just need to get this out of my system before I explode. React first, explain later, right? So, Allison might be out. Let that sink in for a second. The woman who literally terrorized Chelsea, the woman who turned her life into a living horror movie, might just be roaming the streets of the DMV again. And I am just sitting here like, are you absolutely kidding me right now? We all saw her get dragged away by the cops. We all breathed a massive sigh of relief when those handcuffs clicked. But no, because this is the soap opera world, and nobody ever just stays in jail. I am so mad, but I am also kind of living for the drama because the stakes have never been higher. Let us just take a trip down memory lane for a second, because I feel like some people might be forgetting just how dark this storyline got a year ago. I have been watching this show since 2015, and I have seen a lot of crazy villains, but Allison was a completely different breed of terrifying. Remember how it all started? It was not some grand, explosive confrontation. It was the slow, creepy, insidious social media stalking. She was just a follower, a fan, someone liking Chelsea's posts, and leaving those seemingly innocent comments. It was so real, and that is what made it so incredibly disturbing. And then she actually befriended Chelsea. She manipulated her way into Chelsea's inner circle, gaining her trust, acting like this supportive figure while secretly plotting the most unhinged kidnapping we have seen on this network in a decade. I still get chills thinking about that cabin. The isolation, the psychological torture, the way Chelsea was just completely stripped of her autonomy. It was brutal to watch. And now, exactly a year later, all the signs are pointing to Allison starting a brand new master plan. I am literally shaking my head as I type this because Chelsea does not deserve this. So how on earth is Allison possibly out? Did the authorities just release her? Did some incompetent judge look at her file and say, yeah, she seems totally rehabilitated after holding a woman hostage in a remote cabin for days? Or did she escape? Honestly, knowing the police department in this town, both options are equally plausible. Remember when they completely bungled the investigation into Haley's sketchy past? The authorities in Fairmont Crest are practically useless. If Allison escaped, it just proves that the justice system in our favorite soap opera world is entirely broken, and I am so here to yell about it. But what really breaks my heart, and genuinely shatters it into a million pieces, is Chelsea. She is so triggered right now, and who can blame her? The timing of this is just exceptionally cruel. The Chelsea Cat launch is right around the corner. She and Kat have been working so hard to build this business, to create something positive and empowering, and now this dark cloud is just hanging over everything. The anniversary of the kidnapping is basically coinciding with the biggest professional moment of her life. It is like the universe, or rather the writers, just refuse to let this woman have a single moment of pure happiness. And the psychological toll this is taking on Chelsea is so evident in every single scene. You can see the panic in her eyes, the way she jumps at shadows. The spoilers are saying she is haunted by the memories. And it is not just random anxiety. She is terrified that Allison is going to pop out from behind a corner. There is even talk that while Chelsea is visiting Bill in the hospital, because let us not even get started on that whole mess with Haley and Danny right now, she might actually run into Allison, who could be a patient there after a fight or something. Wait, I am getting ahead of myself. Let me catch my breath. Okay, back to the point. The hospital drama is a whole other beast, but the real focus here is Chelsea's mental state. She is fragile. She is terrified. And the only saving grace in this entire miserable situation is Catherine Cat Richardson. Because if there is one person you want in your corner when a psychotic stalker might be on the loose, it is Cat. Can we talk about Cat for a minute? Because Cat is the absolute MVP of this week's episodes. As a best friend, a cousin, and a business partner, she is stepping up in a way that just makes me want to applaud my screen. While Chelsea is spiraling, Kat is the anchor. She is not just offering empty platitudes. She is actively trying to protect her. The scene with Kat and Jacob Hawthorne at the police station was just phenomenal television. The acting, the tension, the lighting, everything was perfect. Kat is standing there in the precinct, and you can just see the sheer terror washing over her face. She looks at Jacob, and her voice is trembling, but there is also this fierce protectiveness underneath it. Jacob, what if Allison escaped? That line. It gave me absolute goosebumps. Because Kat knows exactly what Allison is capable of. She saw the aftermath of the cabin. She helped pick up the pieces of Chelsea's shattered life. And the thought of having to go through that again is just paralyzing. And Jacob, bless his heart, is trying to figure it out, but you can tell even he is rattled. Kat is not one to scare easily. We know Kat. She is the woman who will march right up to Leslie Thomas or Bill Hamilton and give them a piece of her mind without breaking a sweat. She is currently digging into the disappearance of Lynette Wise and putting herself right on Haley's dangerous radar. So for Kat to look this utterly terrified about Allison, you know the threat is monumentally real. It just elevates the stakes of the entire storyline. But of course, life in Fairmont Crest does not just stop because a kidnapper might be on the loose. The world keeps spinning, and the messy interpersonal drama keeps flowing. Which brings me to the absolute whiplash of a scene at Orphe Jean's. I mean, talk about a tone shift. One minute we are dealing with kidnapping trauma at the police station, and the next minute we are at the local hangout watching some incredibly uncomfortable romantic tension play out. So the scene shifts, and we see Kat and Isaiah Hawthorne hanging out at Orphe Jean's. And honestly, it was so refreshing to see Kat just smiling and laughing. After all the heavy stuff with Chelsea and the police station, seeing her share a lighthearted moment with Isaiah was exactly what we needed. They have this really great, natural friendship. They get each other. There is no pressure. Just two people enjoying each other's company and escaping the madness of their respective family dramas for a brief second. But because we cannot have nice things on this show, who decides to walk in and completely ruin the vibe? Eva Thomas. I am sorry, but Eva is really starting to get on my last nerve. I know some people are loving this whole post-transplant edgy era for her, but personally, I think she is acting like a completely petty teenager. She walks into Orphe Jean's, sees Isaiah and Kat laughing, and immediately goes into full-on territorial mode. I mean, she literally marched over there and started acting super affectionate and intimate with Isaiah, right in front of Kat, purely to mark her territory. It was so awkward. You could practically feel the discomfort radiating through the screen. And Kat, being the half-sister in this incredibly messy dynamic, just looked so profoundly uncomfortable. It is like, Eva, we get it. He is your boyfriend, but do you really need to put on a whole performance just because he is laughing with a friend? Let us unpack Eva's psychology for a second, because I am trying to be fair here. I know she just went through a massive organ transplant. I know she is dealing with a ton of medical trauma and emotional fallout. And on top of that, she is currently feuding with her own mother, Leslie, brutally calling her out for being in love with Ted Richardson. So Eva's life is a chaotic mess right now. She feels out of control. And when people feel out of control, they tend to cling desperately to the things they think belong to them. In this case, that is Isaiah. But being traumatized does not give you a free pass to be toxic. Eva is letting her jealousy completely cloud her judgment. She is so deeply insecure about Isaiah and Kat's friendship. She sees how easy it is for them to talk and laugh, whereas her relationship with Isaiah right now is strained, heavy, and bogged down by all the post-surgery stress. Instead of working on her connection with him, she is just trying to intimidate Kat away. And honestly, it is not a good look. And poor Isaiah, the man is just exhausted. He is trying to navigate a romance that has been severely impacted by medical trauma. He is dealing with the Hawthorne family drama with Naomi and Tomas, fighting over the law firm, and now he has to referee this silent, passive-aggressive war between his girlfriend and his friend. You can see the tension in his shoulders. He just wanted to have a laugh at Orphe Jean's, and now he is caught in the middle of Eva's jealousy parade. What really makes this dynamic so fascinating and so agonizing to watch is the family connection. The half-sister element adds this entirely new layer of complicated history and unspoken resentment. Eva is not just jealous of a random woman. She is jealous of Kat. And Kat is already dealing with so much. She is trying to keep Chelsea from having a full mental breakdown. She is investigating a missing person. And now she has to deal with Eva's glaring daggers every time she breathes in Isaiah's direction. I have to ask, am I the only one who thinks Eva is going to end up sabotaging her own relationship if she keeps this up? Because Isaiah is a patient guy, but everyone has their limits. If she keeps suffocating him and acting out of pure jealousy, she is going to push him right out the door. And ironically, she might end up pushing him closer to Kat just by constantly making an issue out of their friendship. It is like a self-fulfilling prophecy unfolding right before our eyes. I mean, remember when they tried a similar jealousy storyline a few years back? When someone got entirely too possessive and ended up destroying the very thing they were trying to protect? Yeah, it did not work out well for them either. Eva needs to take a massive step back, focus on her own healing, and stop treating Kat like the enemy. Kat is not trying to steal your man, Eva. She is just trying to survive the week. And let us circle back to the biggest issue here, which is the impending doom of Allison Bailey. While Eva is busy playing petty high school games at Orphe Jeans, there is a literal predator potentially on the loose. The juxtaposition of these two storylines is wild. You have this massive life or death thriller happening with Chelsea and Kat, and then this grounded, character-driven soap drama happening with Eva and Isaiah. It is brilliant pacing, even if it makes me want to pull my hair out. So what is going to happen next? I am predicting that Allison is definitely out. The writers would not be dropping all these massive hints about the anniversary of the kidnapping and the Chelsea Cat launch if they were not building up to a catastrophic confrontation. I am dreading it because I love Chelsea and I hate seeing her suffer. But I am also entirely here for it because the drama is going to be top tier. We are going to get some incredible performances out of this. As for Kat, she is going to be fighting battles on all fronts. She has to protect Chelsea from Allison, she has to dodge Haley Hamilton's wrath over the Lynette Wise investigation, and she has to navigate Eva's relentless jealousy. Give Colby, Natasha Nixon, all the awards right now because she is carrying so much of the emotional weight of this show. I am going to be glued to my screen next week, furiously live tweeting every single second of it. Let me know in the comments if you guys are as stressed out as I am, because I definitely need to know I am not alone in this madness.